Imagine a streaming platform where your entire life is the content. Every outfit you wear, every career move you make, every opinion you share is broadcasted and given a real-time audience score. A good outfit? The score climbs. An awkward moment? It craters. You find yourself obsessively tracking that number. You calibrate every single decision based on how it impacts that running total. This obsession isn't born from vanity. It is rooted in the terrifying fear that without an audience, you experientially cease to exist. You become a show without viewers, and identity without a mirror. In clinical psychology, this is known as the approval-seeking schema. It essentially functions as a hyper-vigilant reputation management system running in the background of your mind. We can think of it as a validation engine. This diagram outlines how the validation engine runs on three overlapping currencies. First is approval, being liked and accepted. Second is recognition, being admired for your specific achievements. And third is attention, simply being noticed. Most people favor one currency, but all three keep the machine running. To keep those gears turning, the engine overrides your actual preferences. You stop making choices based on what you genuinely want, and instead select whatever option generates the most favorable crowd response. Living for this audience score turns a human life into an exhausting, endless performance. You might be the star of the show, but you are ultimately just a prisoner to the crowd. So how does this exhausting psychological monitoring software get installed in the first place? It begins as a childhood survival mechanism. This code is typically written in environments where love and attention are highly conditional. Sometimes that means a narcissistic parent who views their child strictly as an extension of their own image. Other times, it's a status-oriented family where appearance and social standing are the only metrics that matter. Or caregivers who are so emotionally unavailable that the child realizes they can only capture attention through exceptional performance or strict, flawless conformity. To survive in that environment, the child learns to build their identity entirely from the outside in. They permanently replace their internal compass with an external rating system that constantly asks, "Am I impressive enough to be safe?" This obsessive need for validation is an outdated survival code, a strategy that kept you safe when you were utterly powerless. In adulthood, that childhood origin code executes through three distinct survival strategies. The first strategy is surrender, or playing the performer. You craft your life from maximum approval. You achieve social success, but feel completely hollow inside. The second strategy is avoidance, acting as the withdrawer. Here, you flee competition and stay away from evaluation entirely. You protect your psyche from the devastation of disapproval by ensuring you never step on the stage. The third strategy is overcompensation, playing the anti-conformist. You aggressively rebel and deliberately provoke the audience. But because the rebellion is still organized around the audience's reaction, you remain under their control. This creates what psychologists call the hollow achievement problem. You can accumulate immense wealth, achieve high social status, and earn widespread recognition, but you can't actually enjoy any of it. Those markers of success belong to the character you're playing, not the actual person underneath. Whether you play the game, hide from it, or deliberately rebel against it, the audience remains the unquestioned dictator of your reality. If we look beneath these behavioral coping mechanisms, we find an internal cast of characters. Often leading the charge is a psychological state called the self-aggrandizer mode, which constantly chases status to build a protective shield. But that heavy armor of achievement is protecting something incredibly fragile. It shields a state called the lonely child mode, a deeply buried part of the psyche that aches for unconditional acceptance. This creates a terrible paradox. No amount of public applause can penetrate that armor to reach, warm, or heal that hidden lonely core. The tragedy of the approval-seeking schema is that the part of you most desperate to be loved remains completely hidden behind the character you play to get it. The path forward requires cultivating a new state of mind, the healthy adult mode. Its primary job is to finally build that missing internal compass. The initial steps of recovery are terrifying. You have to practice making small, daily decisions based entirely on what you actually want, rather than what will look best to the people around you. You begin a crucial experiment. you start showing your unperformed, authentic self in safe relationships, simply to observe who sticks around when the show finally stops. In these moments, you realize that being widely admired feels thin compared to the weight of being truly known. Deep, authentic human connection can only begin the very second the performance ends. You begin powering down the audience score. You let those exhausting digital metrics, constant evaluations, and external ratings slowly fade into silence. In the silence, you find that self-worth was never a prize to be earned on a public stage. Your true value was always there, waiting in the quiet for you to turn the mirror inward and finally look.